out and vote. Today is voting day all over the country.
A record-breaking Thanksgiving travel period is coming. We'll tell you more about it.
And we'll relive a sweet moment, our World Series Rangers parade.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV Nightly News.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on ntTV Nightly News. I'm Brooke Deary.
And I'm Avery Callens. Millions of dollars at stake, issues like abortion, and top political jobs across the nation, all on the line today. It's the midterm election 2023. This is the last major election before the all-important 2023 presidential campaigns begin. Karen Kaifa has more from Capitol Hill.
Election Day 2023's key contests.
Let's get out there. Let's get this thing done.
A big chance for both parties.
Get out and vote. Get out and vote.
To gauge what might motivate voters in 2024.
It does make sense to take a look at any kind of signals that one is getting from people actually going out and voting, or as importantly, not going out and voting.
Two governor's races test Democratic mettle in red states. In Kentucky, incumbent Democrat Andy Beshear faces Republican State Attorney General Daniel Cameron. In Mississippi, Democrat Brandon Presley aims to unseat Republican incumbent Tate Reeves. In Virginia, all 140 seats in the legislature are up for grabs. Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin not on the ballot, but campaigning to turn the state red.
I think voters are going to come out today and they're going to help us hold our House and flip our Senate.
Democrats calling in help from former President Barack Obama.
I'm calling to remind you that today is Election Day in Virginia.
And in Ohio, voters are considering an initiative that would enshrine abortion rights in the state's constitution. It will also offer a look at how reproductive rights are motivating the current electorate.
If it turns out that Democrats don't show up for that one to the same degree that they did even a few months ago, then that would be a real worrying sign for Democrats.
Also on the ballot, every seat in New Jersey's state legislature and in the New York City Council, where Republicans seek to narrow Democrats' typical Northeast strongholds. On Capitol Hill, I'm Karen Kaifa.
Brooke, did you get a chance to vote today?
I did, Avery. I went right on campus to the Gateway Center. I believe our live reporter Sydney Jolivet is there right now with some election updates. Sydney, what do you have for us?
Thank you, ladies. Well, Denton, I'm sure you've been hearing it all day. Today is Election Day. Now, this is a special election for the city of Denton, including constitutional amendments, Denton County Emergency Services in District 1 and 2, and municipal utility district elections. As of today, there was a total of 620,000 registered voters in the city of Denton, and polling locations don't close until 7 p.m. tonight, so there is still an opportunity for you to make your voice be heard and vote. If that wasn't cool enough, let us show you how you can have fun with your vote right from your couch. If you search Clarity Elections /Denton, Texas, you can click on any of the election lists and see the polling results. Now, since voting is still occurring right now, we can't see the data at this moment, but just in a few hours, you will be able to see your own vote and the vote of your community. Once again, voting locations close tonight at 7 p.m., so I'm going to take this opportunity to go inside and vote right now. Back to you, ladies, in the studio.
Thanks, Sydney. Well, Avery, it seems that Denton is very lively today with voting season in full swing.
That is correct. And luckily, the weather today is perfect for a day like this.
Let's go ahead and see what the rest of the week is looking like with our weather anchor, Sydney Johnson. Sydney?
Well, Avery, I totally agree with you. It has been so nice outside today in Denton. Our current temperature is 83 degrees. It feels around 82. The sun is beaming and we have light wind speeds of around 6 miles per hour. Later on tonight, our temperature is expected to get down to around 66. It will feel around 62. The skies will be nice and clear and those winds will kick up to around 13 miles per hour. Tomorrow, we're looking at a high of 85 degrees. It will feel around 84. Another warm, sunny, and breezy day in Denton with wind speeds of around 15 miles per hour. While the temperatures are expected to cool down as we progressively get further into the month, it is expected to remain fairly nice weather throughout Thanksgiving break. That's all I have for First Look, and I'll be right back with your full weather in just a moment.
Thanks, Sydney. It's good to hear that Thanksgiving temperatures may make for great weather conditions, but this upcoming news may rain on your parade. If your plans are to take a flight for the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday, you and millions of others think alike. United Airlines forecasts that flight capacities will be at a record high this year, coming in at 5.9 million passengers. You may want to return home sooner or later than Sunday, though, as United says the Sunday after Thanksgiving is expected to be the busiest. Although there will be passengers, you can expect to board the plane quicker thanks to United Airlines' new boarding system that allows window and middle seat passengers to board before those sitting next to the aisle. And if you're leaving from Austin, Texas for Thanksgiving, you may have trouble finding a flight. American Airlines cuts 21 routes in our state capital destinations, such as Montego Bay, Jamaica, and Tulsa, have already been canceled. But the remainder of these cities are set to be canceled as soon as February of 2024. American Airlines will drop from 40 destinations to 24 flying out of Austin. American Airlines spokeswoman Gianna Ergo said that Austin remains an important market for Americans as we continuously evaluate our network.
Well, I have bad news for those planning a trip to Universal in Orlando. Their theme parks and their water park have raised their price of admission. The one-day ticket starting price for each of Universal's 3 Sunshine State destinations has gone up by $10. Day passes at Universal Studios Florida and Universal Islands of Adventures are now $119 for adults and $114 for kids. Universal's Volcano Bay Water Park now costs $80 for kids and $75 for kids.
Boy, Avery, the price of a good time is really going up.
I know, but luckily I do know some cheaper options and they're all here on campus. Let's go ahead and see what our sports anchor Ben Wolf has to say about the scoop. Ben?
That's right, guys. The UNT men's basketball team will be taking on Northern Iowa here at the Coliseum tonight, and these tickets will run you just a bit cheaper. I've got Drew Maurer at the Coliseum to fill us in. Drew?
Yeah, Ben, tickets here if you're a student are actually free. I'm here at the Super Pit where the 2023 NIT champions get ready to tip off, and there's plenty for fans to be excited for tonight as it's a game full of firsts. And I've got Jake Levine, a fan engagement intern for the Mean Green Maniacs, here with me tonight. How we doing, Jake?
I'm doing good, Drew. How are you?
I'm doing great. And Jake, tell me a little bit about what this game means for Mean Green fans.
Yeah, this is a huge game. You know, we're coming off a championship. We got Northern Iowa in the house. They're a great program, great team, and it's going to be a tough win. And if we start 1-0, that's a lot better than 0-1, I'll tell you what.
Well, the house is already getting packed here tonight, and what can fans be excited for from you guys? How are we going to get them pepped?
Yeah, you know, we light this arena up. We are the life of this program, and I take a lot of pride in it because we work really hard to make sure everyone has a great time, and we just make sure everyone comes in here pumped up and everyone's having a good time, just like that.
Well, a game full of firsts, like I said. First game for head coach Ross Hodge, former assistant coach. What are we looking for from Coach Hodge's first game tonight?
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty similar to Grant McCaslin. You know, he worked under him, but hopefully he'll play a little faster so it's a little more appealing to the eye.
Thank you for being with us, Jake, and go Mean Green!
Go Mean Green!
Thanks, Drew. Coming up next, a story that's near and dear to my heart. A 4-day week may be in the works. More on this when we get back.
The do's and don'ts of the Pole Rec Center. See that man over there? Please do not hog weights. Instead, do this. Another important part is having an attentive spotter. See, here is an example of a non-attentive spotter. Instead, do this. Now we head to the track, which should be pretty easy, just it's important to pay attention to the way the track goes. Remember to wipe down the equipment after you're done using it. The towels are provided by the gym, so it's pretty easy to wipe down the equipment when you are done. Thank you for using the Pole Recreation Center.
Some good economic news tonight. The California company DrinkPack is expanding to North Fort Worth, bringing 1,000 jobs and $452 million of capital investment to the region. Its 2 new facilities will be located at Trammell Crow Development at 35 Eagle on I-35 West and Eagle Parkway, and at Carter Park East. The company will produce premium alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages, such as energy drinks, sodas, waters, hard seltzers, canned cocktails, and milk, as well as milk-based beverages. Job openings will be coming early next year with a career fair. Denton County Judge Andy Eads says that DrinkPack has committed to paying those jobs, on average, an annual salary of $70,000. More can be found on the job openings on the DrinkPack website.
That news is coming at a great time as Americans are taking on multiple jobs to make ends meet. Kennedy Fowler has more for us about the job frenzy at the Monitor. Kennedy?
Hey, any job can help with the high cost of living these days, especially since the number of Americans that are working multiple jobs are increasing. CNN Patrick Cornell has more information about the federal data and what's causing this trend.
Juggling multiple gigs. The latest jobs report from the Labor Department shows nearly 8.4 million people had multiple jobs in October. That's the highest number since the start of the pandemic. And women appear to be leading that trend. The federal data shows nearly 6% of women worked multiple jobs in October. That's compared to 4.7% of men.
Our cost of living has almost tripled since 2020.
Experts say people may be taking on additional jobs to offset high inflation, which has been easing but is still painfully high for some households. Nonprofits like the United Way say inflation is outpacing wage growth, and that's making it harder for them to help families.
Wages do not reflect how important they are to everyday living.
Remote work is also offering more flexibility and opportunities for workers to manage several jobs from home. And there's also fear that layoffs could have people looking for supplemental jobs, but one economist says layoffs are actually historically low right now.
Companies are reluctant to lose their workers, and they're willing to negotiate even higher salaries to keep them. U.S.
employers added only 150,000 jobs last month. That's the smallest gain since June, signaling the economy is slowing and signaling that the Federal Reserve's action to tame inflation may be working.
The question is, how quickly is it working? We're still far from the 2% target, but inflation has come down quite a bit.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Patrick Cornell reporting.
But there are plenty of jobs out there that can potentially fill in the gap. Now, if you're looking for a job and you might want some time to relax, have you ever found yourself wishing for a long weekend every weekend? Well, you're not alone. More and more Americans wish they can have that. ntTV's own Anna Fergay is live with more out in the story. Anna?
Thank you, Kennedy. On the flip side, people are now favoring fewer work days. In fact, how does a 4-day work week sound to you? A recent survey shows that 3 out of 4 Americans lean towards working a 4-day work week. The poll taken reveals that 77% of 3,200 working adults see a 4-day work week as more ideal than a regular work week. In fact, people like the idea so much that many of them said they would rather work a 10-hour workday if it meant an extra day off. There are still many more pros, cons, and actions that are needed to take place, and a lot to think about before anything can come into fruition. But regardless, the idea still sounds super sweet. Ladies, over to you.
Thanks, Anna. Well, somewhere I like to spend my hard-earned money is Walmart, but sometimes it can be busy and it can be overwhelming. And for those with sensory disabilities, it can be a real challenge. So the company is making some changes to make this experience a little easier. From 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., the lights will be lowered, the radio turned off, and TV mounted on walls will be set to a static image. All of this to create a less stimulating environment for neurodiverse individuals with sensory issues. Walmart is introducing this option after seeing the benefits from a pilot test ran during the back-to-school shopping period. You can start doing your grocery shopping during these sensory-friendly hours starting this Friday.
In Texas, it seems to either be triple digits or alternating between freezing and crazy hot these days.
That is so correct, but I'm really hoping this winter weather sticks.
Well, let's see what the rest of Texas is facing with our weather anchor. What do you have for us, Sydney?
Well, guys, as of right now, it is still pretty warm here in North Texas. Most of the cities are sitting comfortably in the 80s, and we have Graham right now measuring as our warmest area at 92 degrees. Looking at the weather across the state and surrounding areas, Houston and Shreveport are measuring in as our coolest areas right now at 83 degrees. And Abilene is going to be the warmest, measuring at 90 degrees. Taking a look at what we can expect from the weather for the remainder of this week and into next. Tomorrow looks like it's our last nice sunny day with our highs in the 80s. Thursday, we're still expecting a 93% chance of a thunderstorm and cooler temperatures to follow. Over the weekend, doesn't look like it'll be too bad with our highs in the 60s and lows in the 40s. And then on Tuesday, we have more showers expected. There's an 85% chance of a storm in the morning and cloudy afternoons to come. That's all I have for weather today. Thank you. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Sydney. When we come back, relive a special moment with us as we look at how the Texas Rangers celebrated their first World Series win.
We'll take you to the festivities, so stay with us.
Well, the only thing Texas Ranger fans love more than winning the World Series is celebrating it. That's why Arlington hosted a World Series title parade this past week, and it's safe to say that the Rangers fan base showed up and showed out. Take Me Out to the Crowd meant joining hundreds of thousands of Rangers fans gathered to celebrate after Texas won their first World Series title against the Arizona Diamondbacks 5-0. This past Friday, just 2 days after the history-making game, I headed up to Arlington for the World Series title parade, where it all began for the Rangers, wrapping around Choctaw Stadium and then onto Globe Life Field. The crowd was jam-packed with fans who had traveled from all over the country to celebrate, all with a different story about what this Texas Ranger victory means to them.
I've been a Rangers fan my whole life. My grandma's a Rangers fan, and I'm really happy that she got to see them win their first World Series.
We've been Ranger fans forever. We've been in Arlington for a lot of years, and we're just so proud of our Rangers. I mean, they're such team players. They all have something really great to bring to the table, and I'm just really, really excited and happy for them.
They're awesome.
I just started to really like them last year because my neighbors are Rangers
they work for the Rangers actually, and they give us free shirts and everything, so I started becoming a Rangers fan.
For some, they're taking in the atmosphere of this big event.
I just think it's so cool for like the community to come together for this huge event.
There's a lot of people here and just the energy is amazing.
Yeah, and it's really huge.
For some, this win has traveled with them halfway across the world.
I've been a Rangers fan for 5 years. I'm actually from Australia. I moved here in April last year, and this year I pretty much watched every single game.
And for others, this means creating childhood memories.
It was devastation 12 years ago, and so this finally feels like redemption. But it's been 40 years of following the team. Now I get to share it with my kids. It's just been an unbelievable experience.
But all with one thing in common.
Go Rangers!
Go Rangers!
Go Rangers! Woo!
And let's go Rangers!
With an estimated 500,000 to 700,000 fans gathered in the Arlington district to celebrate this win, it was definitely hard not to get lost in the crowd.
That wasn't much of a squeeze.
The parade featured marching bands from all 6 Arlington ISD high schools, Arlington city officials, Texas Rangers baseball staff, Hall of Fame players, and most importantly, Texas coaches and players who made sure to cherish the moment of their hard work paying off by piling into trucks and tossing Cracker Jacks into the crowds of cheering fans. By grilling out, playing games, and coming together to root for the home team, it doesn't get better than this at the Old Ball Game.
Let's go Rangers!
I have never seen so many people get away with parking on the highway, let alone experience the joy and unity of an overdue baseball victory. A big congrats to the Texas Rangers and all of the lifelong fans who have followed them along the way.
Well, I guess it's good to see Dallas finally getting to celebrate their victory.
Right, well, hopefully the Rangers keep that winning streak rolling. Let's see what's happening in the rest of the sports world with our sports anchor, Ben Wolf. Ben?
Thanks, ladies. Coming up next, the Mavericks claim their 6th win of the season, and a young MMA fighter defeats a seasoned opponent.
And now we return to Fabric of Passion.
Oh, Hector, it will be so hard for us to part, but we must.
But, my love, what did I do? I thought we were meant to be together forever.
I am so disheartened to say that you're just not in style anymore. But you will be, to someone else, in a better place.
You're gonna shred me?
No.
I'm donating you to one of the many clothing donation boxes available on campus. There is one in the Union by the Syndicate and one on Union Circle Drive.
Oh, well, why didn't you just say so? I'm gonna be someone's new shirt.
I thought you'd be more distressed.
Oh, absolutely not. It was cramped in your closet anyways.
Maybe you would like to be shredded after all.
The Mavs are on fire this season, going 6-1. Last night, the Mavericks beat Magic 117 points to 102. But early on, things weren't looking so sunny. It was a tough first half, with Magic taking a 20-point lead on the Mavericks. Luka Doncic managed to lead the Mavs and taking back the win, scoring a total of 29 points. Kyrie Irving also established himself on the court with 21 points, 10 assists, and 6 rebounds. Tomorrow, the Mavericks will take on the Raptors, and given their recent performance, you can be sure to see another strong win for Dallas. Well, it's been a rough couple of days for the Dallas Stars. Sadly, after a 3-game win streak, the Stars have fallen twice this weekend. The game started off rough when the Stars fell behind 2-0 in the first period, but the Stars didn't give up. Wyatt Johnston cut Boston's lead in half in the third period before tying it off. Unfortunately for Dallas, the Bruins took back the lead in the final minutes of the match, leading to a Boston victory. This week, the Stars will battle the Blue Jackets once more Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Hopefully they can get back in the game. This past weekend, Jailton Almeida and Derek Lewis met in the octagon for the main event of Saturday's fight. Fan favorite Derek Lewis managed a total of 28 strikes for 54 attempts, but this was nothing compared to his younger opponent, Almeida, who landed 78% of 153 strike attempts. Both fighters demonstrated outstanding resilience in the ring and fought for all 5 rounds. In the end, it was clear that Almeida was the victor. Given his recent performance, I wouldn't be surprised to see him fight in the tournament in the coming months. Now, everybody loves baseball and everybody loves Halloween, but what happens when the two meet? Our very own Drew Maurer is here to help us figure that out. Drew, how's everything looking out there?
Well, I'll tell you what, I got some free merch, so I'm feeling good. Well, even on Halloween, team spirit is alive and well, especially if you play for Prosper Rock Hill High School. The Blue Hawks do a Halloween game every year, and I gotta say, it's quite a hit with the squad. Check it out.
At Rock Hill High, spooky batting practice is a yearly tradition. The brains behind the operation, Coach Sean Stanton.
So I noticed something online probably 6-7 years ago when I was a coach at Prosper, and saw some college team do it. We decided to adopt it, and then we brought it over here to Rock Hill.
Safe. I'm just out here enjoying myself in a costume, but for these students, it's more than just a costume party.
I mean, it's awesome. Baseball's not really a sport that you usually find that. It's kind of grow school spirit and also team spirit.
This year, for the first time ever, the softball team is joining in on the festivities.
It's really fun to be able to combine with baseball and have some fun and do games and other things with them, and not always just playing softball and doing drills.
I think this is really important because it gets them out of their shell, gets them out of softball, how they are out on the field. It's a chance for them to show their personality through costumes and just how they are with different people and how they interact in different ways.
For the kids, their favorite part? Showing off their ridiculous costumes.
Well, I mean, it's a duck, and then I found a duck shirt. But I don't know, it's just a duck with headphones.
For ntTV News, I'm Drew Maurer.
Thanks, Drew. Well, that's all we have for sports today. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks for watching ntTV Nightly News.
Join us again tomorrow at noon and tomorrow evening at 6 here on North Texas Television.